Hello, ladies and gents! It's Thursday already, which not only means that the weekend is almost here, yay, but it also means that we will actually try to learn something today, while of course also having fun. How do I get better? It's probably one of the most frequently asked questions, right up there with why the hell does my team suck so much? A question which is quite often swept aside with play more. Because it's almost impossible to give specific advice to someone without an in-depth analysis of their play and their results. I think, however, that there is definitely a checklist that you can go through to see if you missed something and to identify any weaknesses you might have. As usual, this only works if you are honest with yourself, but since you want to improve, hopefully you will do yourself this favor. Oh, and by the way, I actually made quite a few educational videos earlier on various topics, including many of those discussed today, so if you are relatively new here, I've put the links to them in the description below. So, without any further time wasting, let's see the top 5 points where you can improve yourself easily. Number 1. Understanding the basic mechanics. Do you know how spotting, armor or the matchmaking works? Do you understand how to use the different ammunition, equipment and crew skills? Do you know what average damage and average penetration really means? These are just a few examples from the very long list of important stuff that every tanker should know. So, of course you could have the valid question, well that's all nice, but how the hell should I know if I don't know something? Well, there is actually a really good rule of thumb there. Whenever you curse RNG or hacks in the game, and you can't explain why this happened exactly, in 99% of the cases you are missing a mechanic. Look it up and learn it. It won't just make you a better player, but it will also take away quite a bit of the frustration actually. Number 2. Understanding basic tactics. Do you know the different vehicle types and the key differences in how to play them effectively? Do you know also about the basic tactics like shooting weak spots, side scraping, going hull down and timing your shots? Yeah? Excellent. Well, do you also use these tactics every single time? Do you really? I still catch myself from time to time driving out sideways on a busy corner without at least trying to time my shots, or getting into a position and then instantly throw it away because I was too eager and didn't pull back enough to remain undetected while firing. Even the more experienced players should really keep an eye out for these. There is a huge difference between knowing these tactics and using them every single time. Number 3. Positioning. Most people don't even realize how ridiculously important the right positioning is. Do you know what the main difference between unicums and regular players is? No, it's not that they only play overpowered machines, firing nothing but premium ammunition, but nice try though. The main difference really is that they will constantly put themselves into the most advantageous positions available throughout the battle, allowing them to win more games and also have a decent result even during losses. The power of positioning is especially significant in the first few seconds of the game. Knowing where to go is a bit more complicated than most people realize, and yet it's super important because you can and will actively screw yourself over with the first key press if you go to an incorrect place. I think I have quite a good video on this topic actually, if I do say so myself, looking at the various factors that you need to take into consideration while the timer ticks down. So, if you didn't watch it yet, I highly recommend doing so. The link to it is again in the description below. Oh, and by the way, this point of course also includes learning the maps in the game. So, if you ever feel like I'm not really sure what the best position for me on this map would be, you should definitely explore this after the battle. Map knowledge is key. Number 4. Using the minimap. Reacting on events before they happen and know what to expect when you go around the corner are the two foundations of success. Good news though, every bit of information that you will need for this is actually presented to you right in the bottom right corner of your screen. What do you mean you disabled your minimap? Put it back, soldier! And you might also want to enlarge it just enough so you can actually tell what the hell is going on it. Just saying. Keeping an eye on the minimap constantly is as necessary as looking in the mirrors while driving. If you aren't aware of your surroundings, you will constantly find yourself out of position, outflanked and overrun. Don't be that guy. The minimap is your best friend, and you have to work on your map awareness if you aren't constantly aware of the situation on the other flanks. And finally, number 5. Know when to push and when to run away. Mastering this one will be actually your end goal, but working on it can definitely be started right from the beginning. Are you unable to participate in the battle for large amounts of time? Did your teammates maybe engage on your flank and you can't really support them? Well, you might be a little too passive. I mean, for sure, it's not an easy one to know when to push, but as a rule of thumb, if your team is pushing your flank, you should at least be in a position to give them fire support. If they fail, you will be next on the list after all. Now, running away is another big one, and it's actually a lesson that I'm trying to get better at right now. Knowing when to start retreating is huge, and will often reward you with a ton of extra damage than what you would have done otherwise. Do it too early though, and you pull the enemy onto you while also getting your teammates killed, and do it too late and, well, you just basically will get shot in the butt. It really is a balancing act, but this actually ties together very well with putting yourself into favorable positions. As soon as your current position is about to get compromised, you might want to start pulling back to a better one. Right, this was then my 5 quick pointers to how to improve yourself. Don't forget to check out the corresponding video list in the description, and of course feel free to ask for help in the comments if you are looking for some knowledge on a certain topic and you just really don't know where to look. Let's help out each other. As for the future videos, there is actually a nice one coming up right away tomorrow, when we will be reviewing a real legend, the Tiger II, aka the King Tiger Heavy Tank. As usual, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in one of the next videos.